waterproof charger. Expect all new features all the time.
I got this wow skin from a body wash.
It's new. It's Olay Super Serum Body Wash. Sinks into my skin with 5 powerful ingredients. It hydrates, firms, smooths, brightens, and evens. That's 5 skincare benefits in one for visibly improved skin in 14 days. Look at this Olay difference. So luminous. It's new Olay Super Serum Body Wash.
One of the cornerstones of good offense is body movement. Watch from the right side of your screen, 14 red. That's Jalen Moore, just kind of does an interchange. There's confusion by the defense, and Moore gets the easiest deuce that Oklahoma has had in this game so far. But it's simple, but it's effective because you have great body movement. Take a look at Moore's numbers and how he has progressed, whether you're talking about his first 2 years at Georgia Tech or his last 2 years here at Oklahoma.
Young man out of Birmingham, Alabama, who's the 4th leading scorer in the SEC, and oh, by the way, shoots 43% from behind the arc. He's been extremely valuable. The problem in this game and in some of Oklahoma's games, he doesn't have a ton of help in the front court, Mark, and a guy that can certainly take advantage of that is and has been Mark Mitchell, to the tune of 11 points and 4 rebounds. What do they do to stop the bleeding here and stop making it the Mark Mitchell show?
Well, I think you have a couple of options. One is you double anytime Mitchell gets the ball in any kind of low post isolation situation, or you throw a zone and see what happens.
You and I talk about this all the time. We don't see a lot of zone in this league.
No.
Some coaches, they would rather eat a raw onion or something or other than go to a zone. Missouri, on the other hand, just about every game they play, they will mix up the defenses, including right here.
A little full court pressure. Aiden Shaw on the point with his length. That ball should have been intercepted. That had too much air on it.
Oklahoma trying to get something in the half court. There's an easy call, a hold on Aiden Shaw, and an unnecessary foul on Shaw at the free throw line.
Yeah, Aiden Shaw, who's had a much less role this year. You just can't foul like that off the ball. That was about as obvious as it comes.
Great ball movement, sets up an open 3 from the corner. Tapped around, offensive rebound to Oklahoma. That's Glenn Taylor on the board.
Well, Miles is getting some really good looks.
Fears knocks it off to the slashing Jalen Moore, who will go back to the free throw line.
Really impressed with how Oklahoma, who has had so much trouble rebounding the ball, has given themselves second chance opportunities. As you see Jalen Moore again slashing to the basket.
That's the second foul on Anthony Robinson.
When you're talking about Jalen Moore and his seasonal numbers, how about this combination? 52% from the floor, 43% from the arc, 83% at the free throw line. And oh yeah, by the way, he's playing in his 100th game today.
He's been terrific for this Oklahoma squad.
Missouri has really struggled getting the ball in against pressure. I don't like just straight cuts. I think you've got to screen for each other, fake screen. You can even slip. We think of slipping in as an offensive action in the half court. You can do that in full court to try and release some of the pressure. Now Grill can't move.
Oklahoma will peel back, and Shaw brings it in the front court, and he turns it over. Great hands by Taylor. Duke Miles splits the double and has it rejected. Put it right on a silver platter for Aiden Shaw.
I think this is my third time to have Oklahoma this year, and I've said this a couple of times. The guards have to have kind of a feel and a force field, if you will. I'd rather for them to play off 2 feet and shoot a 10-footer over the bigs instead of trying to challenge the bigs at the rim.
One of those bigs in the game right now transfer from Alabama for Oklahoma is Wagee. He's on the left block. Meanwhile, a trap in the corner, and all Fears could do was throw it off a Missouri player out of bounds, and Caleb Grill took the worst of that one. And that was a fastball right at his body.
Yeah, they had doubled quickly in the corner. That's a call from the bench. Watch again, the quick double. Fears knows he's in trouble, so just tries to throw it off Grill. And he kind of throws it off his grill.
Well, when you've got a six-pack like Mark Wise, that doesn't leave a mark. But for your average human, that's going to take a little wind out of the sails.
Now there's this hard double team. Much better job by Fears.
Kick basketball. It'll remain Oklahoma ball, but the good news is they go from 3 on the shot clock to 20. Talking about bubble teams earlier. Right now, Oklahoma's on the right side of that bubble, but a road win would go a long way during this difficult stretch. Fears can't find it. Mitchell crashing. Another rebound. He's got 5. And Grill, just a reach-in foul that time by Wagee.
Yeah, again, just not a smart foul because it's team foul number 7. You're going to put Grill to the free throw line for the bonus. I mean, there is no chance for a steal there.
Oh, Caleb Grill to the free throw line. We talked about his three-point shooting, the top three-point shooter in the SEC at 48%. Injured most of last year. Comes back this year. Coach Gates telling us he had no doubt that Caleb Grill would come back, and he thinks he's going to be a future coach. That might have to be put on hold because this young man could certainly play some pro ball somewhere. He's from Mays High School. He played for his father, Coach Chris Grill, and his brother Alec is playing there now in Wichita, Kansas. Mom Lena is a Twitter sensation. Very entertaining follow if you're a Missouri fan for sure, and she's certainly proud, as is everybody in this Missouri fan base, of what Caleb Grill has been able to do this season.
So far, the Sooners just 2 of 11 from deep. They've got to make some of these.
The looks have been there as Grill gets caught holding on the box out, so Fears draws the foul. But that's only 16 fouls on Missouri.
It's a nice job by Fears getting inside position that time on the veteran Grill.
I mentioned the great record that Missouri has when they have more trips to the free throw line. Right now, they have 13 free throws. Oklahoma has just 4. And again, Oklahoma trapped. That leads to a run out. That leads to a Grill miss. Missed the layup. Now Oklahoma may have numbers the other way. Fears finds an open shooter, but Forsythe passed it up. Now it's Moore, tough shot, that misses everything. 10-point game, Missouri looking to add to the lead.
What am I going to tell both teams right now? Just slow down a little bit. There's the double on Mitchell, I love it.
Throw it, baits his knees. Scooped up by Grill. Around the horn they go. Inside. Back to Grill. Double pump. No, sir. Oklahoma has 5 on 4. Grill is not in the picture. Inside it goes to Moore. Blocked from behind. A swat by Tamar Bates. SEC's leading three-point shooter.
Why shoot 2s when you shoot 3s like he does?
Such a pretty rotation on every shot. Picturesque form from Caleb Grill.
4 minutes lately, 38% from bonus land. That will get you more minutes.
He's worked up a lather after a couple early turnovers. Missouri has outplayed Oklahoma in seemingly every aspect. It's still just a 10-point game, and it's got a chance to go to single digits. On the steal, it's Miles all the way, and a foul called before the block. And that will send Miles to the free throw line with a chance to cut a 10-point deficit here in Como.
A blind spot that's never out of sight. How it should be. The Hyundai Tucson.
Get 1.99% APR or up to $12.50 bonus cash on the Hyundai Tucson. Visit your local Hyundai dealer today.
Now's the time for a great deal on a new Honda. It's time for a different kind of power. Whether you choose an electric Honda or a hybrid. From the Kelley Blue Book Best Overall EV and Hybrid brand. Right now, you can get a $319 per month lease on a 2025 Civic Sport Hybrid Sedan.
Obesity is America's deadliest epidemic.
This is America.
74% of us are overweight, and the $160 billion weight loss industry thrives on keeping it this way.
This is America.
This system wasn't built to help us. It was built to keep us sick and stuck. But not anymore. Hims & Hers offers life-changing weight loss medications that are affordable, doctor-trusted, and designed to fit your body, goals, and lifestyle. Join us in the fight for a healthier America.
What up, y'all? Coming up at half, we'll show you Ole Miss barely getting by South Carolina. Get you an update over in Fayetteville between LSU and Arkansas. Pat Bradley, what are you seeing in this one, though?
Well, you got to be prepared for Missouri's ability to turn you over and get out in transition.
If Oklahoma wasn't able to get on the offensive glass, this deficit would be a lot higher.
Talk about that game coming up at half. Mike Morgan, where'd you guys go to dinner last night over in Como?
Well, Peter, since there was snow on the ground everywhere and it was freezing cold, Mark and I took the weak route and we ate at the hotel. That was our conversation. That was our dinner plan. I'll tell you this. I'll give a quick plug. Although they don't take reservations normally unless you get there real early. CC Broilers is normally our go-to.
Right. Well, where did we have lunch today, though? At
Boochie's, the best $4 burger in the SEC, right?
John Sumbo, why didn't you come by and buy?
That's who introduced me to all the fine dining options, Sonny. But since he's not here, we're on our own. But we managed to get some good burgers. No steaks last night, I'm sad to say. But nevertheless, we'll see if we can redeem ourselves and the culinary front later on tonight. 31-21 our score here with 3:57 to go. Mark, all things being equal, Oklahoma is fortunate to only be down 10.
Yeah, they have no answer for Mitchell. They haven't made threes, and yet they're hanging around because of their ability to get on the offensive glass, something they have not done a lot of this year. Mike, I wanted to say this. How about this crowd?
Yeah.
We had snow. It was supposed to be a bigger snow than it was today. And yet this place is just filled with tradition.
I've always said this, and I think it's, I don't want to say it's a rarity, but Missouri fans don't just love the fact that their team is good this year, which they're obviously good, and you and I have been on this bandwagon for quite some time, long before they were in the top 25. They love the game of basketball. When you talk to the fans around here, they truly love the sport. So it's not just jumping the bandwagon, which I've always admired about this particular fan base. I think for sure SEC fans, we know everybody in this part of the country loves football. They have been treated to exceptional basketball this season.
They've got a mismatch if they can get him the ball.
Tamar Bates has one rattle out.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Mike. I like that by Fears. He came down in transition, kind of tried to evaluate, didn't see anything. Back it out, run your offense.
Pass down low, easy layup. Oh, goodness. Don't know how many more easy looks at the rim you're going to have against this suffocating Missouri D. Grill, meanwhile, hits the three, but an offensive foul, an illegal screen called on Josh Gray. Will take the three off the board.
I looked right over at Dennis Gates, and he looked right at Gray and says, you cannot move. He knew it. And that's a good call. You cannot set a screen outside your shoulders. Outside the width of your feet, which usually means your shoulders.
And quite frankly, We were talking about this during shoot-around today. What makes Grill so special, he is not just a spot-up shooter. He's got some elevation. He can shoot contested threes and still hit them. You don't have to set a perfect screen.
Right.
Just get in the way a little bit. And then Oklahoma gives it right back. A little chicken wing on display by Jalen Moore.
Here's something I like from the Oklahoma staff. Even though they haven't zoned, they have gone down the floor. They have tried to change the tempo, the flow of the game.
Timeout by Missouri, who is, as you pointed out, Mark, they've had trouble inbounding the basketball. We could have had a first half with 2 5-second violations. Don't see that every day. Well, women's basketball will take over the SEC network this Thursday. Another great doubleheader. It all starts with Tahina Pow at number 4 South Carolina hosting freshman phenom Liv McGill and the Florida Gators. That'll be at 7 o'clock Eastern time. Mike Morgan, Mark Wise with you here at the Mizzou Arena. And for Missouri this season, Mark, there have been some memorable wins. December the 8th, remember Kansas was #1 at the time. If you know anything about that rivalry, you know just how huge that is. I had a front court seat for this one against 5th-ranked Florida, knocking down the Gators in a 1-point win, and then doing the same to a tough Ole Miss squad and completely annihilating Mississippi State at the hump. So it's a Missouri squad that has been battle-tested and has answered the bell more often than not.
All kinds of improvements from last year to this year, and all kinds of smiles. And when you're 17-6, yeah, you'll get all kinds of smiles.
Well, they have become the blueprint, if you will, for anybody that's having a tough year to see how quickly it can turn around. You go 0-19 in SEC play a year ago, and their freshmen barely played, but they struck gold in the portal, starting with this guy right here. Mitchell! My goodness! Absolute annihilation down low.
That is big boy hoops.
14 points for Mitchell to go along with 6 rebounds. The drive, off-balance shot, and an offensive foul going for the rebound, I believe. Or maybe not.
Yeah, I think this is on Fredson Cole.
That's what I thought. Oklahoma thought it was on Missouri. Now they're going the right way.
That's just not fair. That's just not fair. Mark Mitchell may get to 1,000 points in the first half.
He's flirting with it. Good chance he'll eclipse that mark in this game tonight. Well, that is no matter what you think about the portal, the one thing that coaches love about it, if you're coming off a bad year, you don't have to be overly patient and wait for young players to develop. You can go into the portal, pick up proven commodities like a Mark Mitchell, and immediately turn your fortune around.
I think it's a great point that you make, and the good part of that is that what you just discussed. The bad part is you have to do it every year.
Right. The other bad part is you can also have players poached and lose guys in the portal, which is something that coaches keeps them up late at night. Fears gets the ball in front court as we are at 2 minutes remaining in the first half. Fears can't connect near the rim, might have gotten blocked. Quick ball movement and a quick 3 from the corner. Fears top 4 for the rebound for Oklahoma.
Love that quick look in transition, corner 3.
Another turnover. Fears gives it away. On the other end, Marquez Warren. Largest lead now for Missouri, 15 points and 11 costly Oklahoma turnovers.
You just cannot give the ball away, especially on the road. So there's a lot of dribbling without going anywhere.
Taylor. Miss up close from Jalen Moore. Oklahoma is shooting 22% from the field. Another mismatch. Mouse in the house for Mitchell, and an and one for 2-5 and White, who is just dominating down low, and he now has 1,000 career points.
I thought there was a chance he would get it tonight. I didn't think he would get it in the first 20.
Yeah. Well, this is just candy for a guy like Mitchell in the paint. And how many times has he gotten matched up against guards?
Yeah, Oklahoma's doing a lot of switching, a lot of picking up whoever's in front of you in transition. And Mitchell has taken advantage of that repeatedly.
A 17-point half for Mark Mitchell. Oklahoma again having trouble with this full court pressure. Breaks it here in the front court to Moore.
Double team the ball handler, make somebody else be a decision maker.
And Moore will go to the line for a pair. It's as if, Mark, Oklahoma is looking for a guy to take over the reins on offense, be a go-to guy. But that guy has not been there in this first half.
No, 23%, 3 for 13 from deep. The only offense is really Jalen Moore at the free throw line.
You and I had them against Texas A&M, and there's no saltier defense than what the Aggies put together. They had a situation, obviously, Goodine goes off, he hits 9 threes, but you had a combination of guys and better-looking shots. Tonight,
yes,
watching this Oklahoma team, every possession has been a struggle just to get a good look.
They had some good early looks, but didn't make any. Another turnover.
That has been the story. And it lines up an easy deuce on the other end for Tony Perkins.
At some point in time, as a player, you've got to be determined, I'm not turning it over.
Anything but a TO. Oklahoma will play for the final shot. Fans on their feet. Elvis in the lane, fires it up too strong, gets it back, and is fouled with 2.6 on the clock.
I think everybody from Missouri got a little happy about trying to see if they could counter and forgot one important issue, and that you've got to have the ball in order to do that. Elvis missed a tough 2, but the ball actually hit the deck before he was able to gather it.
That kind of half for OU. Elvis, a 67% free throw shooter. Oklahoma will finish with its lowest scoring half of the season. 23 points, a chance at 24 here. Either way, it'll be the low mark. Missouri will have a chance at the final shot. It'll likely be from long distance.
Yeah, I would throw it long. Let Mitchell go get it.
One-on-one. Oh, my goodness, they got a foul. You had to call it as Wagee just put him in a bear hug. Mark Mitchell is going to go to the line.
This is like a wide receiver just shielding the defensive back from getting involved in the play. Both players are kind of bear hugging, but it's the last little bit by Wagee that commits the foul. I think that's a good foul. He never jumps, he never makes a play on the ball.
That'll draw you 15 in college football. Well, a memorable first half continues for Mitchell. The lefty makes it an 18-point first half.
Every once in a while, Mitchell looks like he has a hitch in his shot, but sometimes it comes off really clean out of his hands. Let's take another look. Does he have the hitch, or is it a little bit smoother?
Mitchell more made free throws than Oklahoma made field goals. A 20-point cushion. 2.6. Where's Grant Hill and Leitner when you need them?
So you placed an order at SmartPress. Ever wonder what happens then? Get an account specialist of your very own. Her name's Amanda. Meanwhile, a customer
But it'll go to the ground, and that is how the half will come to a close. A half dominated by Mitchell and Mizzou. 44-24, our halftime score as we send it. Oh, wait a minute. The officials are gathered around.
The ball went out of bounds. And I think somebody asked the officials to take a look.
Did it touch anybody is the first question.
Well, the long pass did because Moore touched the ball initially.
Okay. So that means...
Watch Moore's left hand right there. The clock, it does start. Does it go out of bounds?
I mean, at most you would have a couple of tenths of a second.
Which doesn't allow you to catch and shoot.
Right.
So if I'm the officials, I'm going,
let's go to intermission here.
We're done.
This might be time to mention the Mark Wise challenge system idea.
Yes. I'm a big believer after so many reviews taking so long.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's the touch. The clock starts on time. When does it go out of bounds? You might have 0.5, I guess. And then you have to decide, well, who did it go out on?
Well, that's the other part of the equation. Initially, I thought it was going to be Missouri basketball. I'm not so sure if that last angle, maybe we could see a reverse angle of some kind. Mitchell, by the way, with 19 points. It's 2 off his season high of 21.
It's only 4 off his career high of 23.
0.7 on the clock.
All right. Well, if you took the over on how many fractions of a second would be left, you win this one. It's 0.7. We have 0.7 to have a memorable play right here. After we determine whose ball it is.
Yeah, I think it's Missouri's
okay,
ball.
So you could take a shot. I tell you who I'd be looking at, 31 in white.
Yeah.
Somehow get Caleb Brill around midcourt. Take your chances. Cruz in there as well, who's been red hot.
We've had 2.6 seconds.
There's
Take
Grill.
10 minutes.
There's the shot. That would have been good if it went. It does not. And now we can officially say one half is in the books here in Como. Time now to send you to not America's favorite polka band, but the #1 studio show, Peter and the Pats.
Benny and the Jets, Peter and the Pats. I like that. Patrick Young, Pat Bradley, Peter Burns. Welcome to the SEC Halftime Report and welcome into the MIZZOU show. 44-24. Pat Bradley. I mean, right from the jump, Mark Mitchell was making it a force to be reckoned with.
Oh, he's such a tough cover, Mark Mitchell. He's a really versatile type guy. He's a creator of plays. You can see him right here, just in a little two-man game. You got to respect the fact that he can put it on the floor, gets a mismatch there.
Yeah.
That's what makes him so difficult, though. And Missouri spaces the floor, lifts the floor, so there's a lot of room for cutters and drivers. And then the big fella gets out on the break, Patrick Young. Puts his head down, you know.
Man, he unlocked the door and threw away the key.
Was that the boom boom room
that
for
was
Ron Slay?
What?
That's high percentage basketball
Like,
right
if
there.
there's any play we need to epitomize boom boom room right there, that was it.
But the thing was, Oklahoma can't take care of the basketball. Missouri's going to be doing that all night.
Man, yeah, it's interesting, too. You know, Oklahoma has actually taken now 8 more shots than Missouri has. And I don't need a B-roll to talk about Oklahoma right now because I don't know what the identity is here. Jalen Moore, you see that he's battling there. I think he's the only guy Jeremiah fears. Where you at? Like, if it wasn't for them getting on the glass, offensive rebound, creating those second chance points, I don't know if Oklahoma knew what time the game started today.
Cold night in Columbia.
You know, maybe this you can say this is Oklahoma's like, hey, this is the grind of being in the SEC now. You know, Missouri on a Wednesday.
I think it's a grind of being in Missouri Arena. right?
That's it, yeah.
Come on, they're 15-1 for a reason. That crowd has become one of the most understated crowds in all of college hoops. They appreciate it. They know what last year was like, and now they know that this team is scheduled to make a little bit of a run.
It's organized chaos defensively.
Oh, yeah.
And that's a compliment for Missouri's defense.
I would like to see Oklahoma come out, play zone, because their man-to-man switching 1 through 5 is not working. So I'd like to see them try something else.
Do a little something different. 44-24 right now, Missouri over Oklahoma. Missouri Tigers actually going to be playing FSU over on ESPN2 over on Thursday. But here's the remaining part of the Shriner Children's Clearwater Invitational. Softball and baseball season is upon us, my friends. Always that streaming live over on the ESPN app. Anthony Robinson, the second, goes out there. He's got 5 points, all Tigers in the first half.
Off of a what? Steal by Mizzou.
Touches of black. They say a lot without having to say much. They stand for elegance, refinement, and prestige. Even a little can go a long way. And though they're darker than the darkest night, they make you see everything in a new light. The Kia X-Line Nightfall Collection.
Kia, movement that inspires.
In 7 years, you can meet, get married, have kids, get a dog, and still be covered in your Honda certified vehicle. Get a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty. Plus, factory trained technicians and Honda genuine parts. Every certified pre-owned Honda goes through a rigorous 182-point inspection and is reconditioned like new. You can also get your first 2 oil changes on us and roadside assistance. Search your local Honda dealer today.
Am I the only one who doesn't get it?
Hey, get a grip. You got this.
Okay, so what? You have the answers?
Do you just want the answers? Or do you want to learn? Smart choice. Get a grip on college with Chegg.
Even when U.S. women's national team forward Mallory Swanson isn't on the field, she always makes the perfect play. Thanks to the Bank of America customized cash rewards Visa card, she'll earn 3% cash back on her purchase after choosing the online shopping category.
Obesity is America's deadliest epidemic.
America.
74% of us are overweight, and the $160 billion weight loss industry thrives on keeping it this way.
This is America.
This system wasn't built to help us. It was built to keep us sick and stuck. But not anymore. Hims & Hers offers life-changing weight loss medications that are affordable, doctor-trusted, and designed to fit your body, goals, and lifestyle. Join us in the fight for a healthier America.
I was kind of playing a guessing game when it came to my health.
Now with Whoop, I know how my body works. I could conquer any day.
I know when to go hard, and I know when to take it easy.
I've found my sense of recovery, both physically and mentally.
Whoop has given me the deepest understanding of the quality of sleep that I'm getting.
This year, find your focus. Join Whoop.
Big game for the Arkansas Razorbacks over there in front of Coach Cal in Fayetteville. Remember, they are the last team out of the tournament right now, but Joe Lenardi says Big Z does this a little bit more. They can play themselves into it, Patrick Young.
What I'm talking about. He does a little pick and pop. They're a little pick and roll.
Oh, how about that? Cam Carter finds Corey Chess, says it with his chest, and then always Carter Knox.
Don't mind if I do. They need to shoot. Got to shoot them. Got to knock them down.
Got to find somebody who makes some shots.
Good ball movement. Victorious Miller, 3 is good. Tigers would lead at the half, 35-34. They just tipped off in the second half. LSU up 39-38. LSU kind of reminds me of South Carolina, guys, and one of these teams that has some fight to them. They just don't have that roster right now in a big game over for Arkansas.
Turnovers have killed them throughout the year. They've been so close in a lot of games, but self-inflicted wounds have killed them.
We'll keep you updated on that game as it continues to roll on. We had a great game in Colonial Life Arena. How many times have we said that this year, Pat Bradley, between a ranked squad going down to kind of a shorthanded, banged-up South Carolina team, but my goodness, Malik Dia was on fire in that second half.
One defensive miscommunication, and that's the result. It's such a slim margin of victory and defeat.
Dia had 12.
Carolina, unfortunately, knows that all too well.
Yeah, 12 of his 18 points in the second half. Trey Davis with that, and how about this? Last chance, Kyler Murray Bowles drives in, misses the layup, can't get the rebound, turns it over. Wash, rinse, repeat for South Carolina. Still winless on the season in conference play. 0 for 11 as Ole Miss gets by 72-68. Surprised with that one, anyway?
Just the finish, man. I'm not surprised that South Carolina had a difficult time finishing games there. It's been the moral of the story for them all season long.
Look at this, 8 out of 13 from beyond the arc for the Rebels. One of the reasons why they get another big-time victory. Big-time game for Don Staley's crew. South Carolina taking on the Florida Gators Thursday, 7 p.m. tip-off, presented by our friends over at Regions Bank and always streaming live over on the ESPN app. It is 44-24 right now. Mark Mitchell, welcome to the 1,000-point club.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
He might be 40. He's played for a while. They got 44 points.
Sam. All good. If I don't sleep, I mean.
If it helps, I'm using Check. Total game changer.
Maybe I should try.
Yeah, he definitely needs Jug. When you know where something comes from, you know everything about it. When you discover Bull & Branch bedding, you uncover the most extraordinary feeling of comfort and care. We prioritize toxin-free organic cotton. We pay and treat people fairly, all in pursuit of the most natural softness possible. From the first touch of Bull & Branch bedding, you feel the difference. Experience the difference at bullandbranch.com.
We gave the all-electric Prolog generous passenger space, as well as the confidence of a nationwide dealer network. And, according to Car and Driver, it has a more refined driving experience than the Tesla Model Y. With the Prolog SUV, we've made it easy to go electric. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or visit your local Honda dealer today.
Again,
So congested.
you need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Just Sinex? Breathe. What is... Wow. Sinex? Breathe. Ah.
This is College Game Day. The energy, the passion, it's just different here. There is nowhere better for basketball. Get it riled up. That's incredible. College Game Day live from Tuscaloosa. Saturday at 10 a.m. on ESPN.
We've heard College Game Day in Tuscaloosa, but normally for football, not for hoops, but it's the first time ever in this conference history on the men's side. Number 1 versus number 2. I was getting emotional just thinking about it, right?
I know, I can see the tears in your eye, my man.
Who do you like in this game? I know it's in Tuscaloosa, and I play at Coleman Coliseum's crazy, but Janai Broome and the whole crew.
I am not making the mistake that I have made every year.
Make the mistake. Make the mistake.
Of picking against Bruce Pearl. And plus, obviously, the oldest team in college basketball. I'm going with the vets. Isn't it ironic the two teams that brought back the most offense this year are the ones that are thriving the most this year?
Well, you got somewhat of your core from a Final Four Alabama team last year. One of the concerns for Coach Bruce Pearl is the tempo game. And you're playing against an Alabama team who's number 2 in the country. They want to get up and down. in Tuscaloosa, make a couple shots. So you got to be able to control that tempo. You don't want to track meet.
My fear for Bama will be like, or for Auburn, are they going to be able to match the second five of Bama? Because that second five group they're pretty lethal. They're starting anywhere in the country.
I'll be honest with you, you'll see it again in the jungle, this matchup. You might see it in the SEC tournament. You might see it in the Final Four. Another team that we might see right now is the Missouri Tigers, who have been fantastic. 44-24 right now. Jacob Cruz, that is efficiency, my friend. One shot, one bucket, it went in. Tigers rolling. Second half coming up after the break.
What was that? Am I the only one who doesn't get it?
Hey, get a grip. You got this.
This is weird.
Yeah, college is weird and stressful and exciting.
I meant you.
Ooh, spicy. I like you already.
Okay, so what? You have the answers?
Do you just want the answers? Or do you want to learn?
All right. Let's get weird.
Get a grip on college with Chegg.
When you discover Bull and Branch bedding, you uncover the most extraordinary feeling of comfort and care. We prioritize toxin-free organic cotton. We pay and treat people fairly, all in pursuit of the most natural softness possible. From the first touch of Bull and Branch bedding, you feel the difference. Experience the difference at bullandbranch.com.
We gave the all-electric Prolog generous passenger space, as well as the confidence of a nationwide dealer network. And, according to Car and Driver, it has a more refined driving experience than the Tesla Model Y. With the Prolog SUV, we've made it easy to go electric. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or visit your local Honda dealer today.
It's here tonight, Missouri putting on a display in the first half and leading Oklahoma 44-24 as we welcome you back inside. He is Professor Mark Wise. I am Mike Morgan. Mark, we take a look at this Missouri squad. They got humbled a little bit at home for a rare time against Texas A&M. If there was any concern there'd be a hangover, no concerns at all. They came to play in the first 20 minutes.
Well, put the ball in Mark Mitchell's hands, and good things happened, especially in the first half. Mitchell utilized his size and guard skills to basically take the ball wherever he wanted, whether it was getting into the paint, getting on the offensive glass, scoring in transition. He simply was marvelous. He needed 16 points to get 1,000. He ended up with 19 in the first half. Missouri averages in league play 9.4 steals per game. That's best in the SEC. Well, they had 9 steals in the first half alone, and that led to those 12 points off turnovers. And basically, Missouri dominated play in the first 20 on both ends of the floor.
Meanwhile, for Oklahoma, the turnover bug certainly was an issue, and at times, Mark, they just had no flow or sync on offense. How do they turn that around in the second half?
Well, I think slow down, that's one thing, and then the other thing is the players have to make individual commitments and go, I'm not throwing the ball away. I might get a 5-second count, I might shoot a bad shot, but I am not turning the ball over.
Something that Coach Moser stressed to us this morning. They can't have those pick-6 turnovers, those live ball turnovers that lead to easy baskets the other way. First shot of the second half is a miss for Bates and Mizzou. So Oklahoma can do some damage these first 4 minutes. Very valuable if the Sooners are going to make a comeback. Inside Moore, reach and foul on Robinson, and that is his third.
Robinson has had some foul issues in recent games. Hasn't played as many minutes, and I talked about slumping a little bit offensively, just 6 points in his last 3 games. Oddly enough, Oklahoma with a negative 6.4 rebound margin in league play out-rebounded Missouri.
That might be the most misleading stat of this basketball game. They were crashing offensively early and won that battle. And they'll win this battle here. How about the hoop and the harm for Duke Miles?
I love the drive. I love the ball fake. Cruz made 2 mistakes on the play. One was leaving the floor, And then the second, after coming back down, watch him swipe. Here's leaving the floor, and then the swipe back. Nice job by Miles to get feet in the paint.
Transfer from High Point. I think a lot of SEC fans are still learning a bit about the two newbies, Texas and Oklahoma. Oklahoma has an amazing basketball tradition. 5 Final Fours, 33 All-Americans, 33 NCAA tournaments. And with that, of course, comes lofty expectations, regardless of what league, going from the Big 12, another very good league, to the SEC having a historically good season.
It looks like Missouri maybe a step slow coming out of the locker room to start the second half.
See if Oklahoma can take advantage.
Well, here's the issue. Mitchell and the ball.
Godwin bellies him up and almost a turnover. It will be a foul on Oklahoma. Missouri has 24 points in the paint in this game. So while they are an elite three-point shooting team, they haven't needed it. They only hit 2 threes in that first half, but it's been way too many easy baskets if you're Oklahoma trying to pull off an upset on the road.
Here's the isolation again.
Mitchell, that time, great block by Jalen Moore.
This is the kind of start Oklahoma needs. A score and a stop.
Miles on the attack, sets up Moore. Moore takes it strong. Missed it. Missouri might have got a hand on it. Perkins goes to work. Wheeling, dealing, and gets the basket.
But see him stop outside the arc.
Here's just 3 points in the first half. Oklahoma gets the triple from Goodine. We know Goodine can ignite in a hurry. Nothing there. And a block by Fears. Out of bounds. It'll remain Missouri basketball with 12 to shoot.
Take another look at this jersey pull. It's Perkins. That is what we call a hold. That would get you 10 yards.
Yes.
Replay first down.
Yes.
But Goodine knocks down the 3.
Well, again, sometimes just works out your way. Oklahoma could use a few more breaks like that.
What do we say? Ball don't lie?
Ball don't lie. Mitchell, he hadn't been lying either. The truth is, nobody has an answer for number 25 in white, Mark Mitchell.
Now, this is not, again, I'm talking about Oklahoma. They're not an overly physical team. They're not an overly big team. So Mark Mitchell was going to be a big-time problem for Oklahoma no matter who guards him.
Mitchell ranked the 7th.
Building your online business? Go to Wix.com and set up your store on a single integrated platform. Add products, showcase them dynamically, and seamlessly track your inventory. Accept multiple secure payments.
The number 3 hosting number 12, Auburn. That'll be at the O-Dome. It's Valentine's Day. Nothing says Happy Valentine's like a good old-fashioned balance beam. Mark, you're pretty good on the old balance beam, aren't you?
How do they do that? How do you even practice it?
We're just happy if you can go up a flight of stairs without falling.
Again, I don't like guys that hesitate. Fears was open, didn't feel right, took the dribble, didn't really commit himself to the shot.
One foul on Goodine. Now, you and I have talked about it. There's something about this Missouri team. I can't remember the first time we've had them this year. We've had them quite a few times. You and I fell in love with this roster early on. There's just something that looks different. They have balance. They have great shooting. They are a nightmare to guard down low with Mark Mitchell. Josh Gray's a great body off the bench for them. You got this guy, Caleb Grill, the best three-point shooter in the league. He's going to have to fire one up here. Nice defense by Oklahoma.
They can play in so many different ways with so many different lineups.
Yeah, and it's a lot like the team 2 years ago that had a bunch of steals, hit threes, and are out to a very successful season for Mizzou.
Won a game in the NCAA tournament.
Yep. Bates pulls the trigger on a three.
You got to be careful now because the rec league game may break out.
Goodine finds Fears. Oh no. This has not been one of the better games for the talented freshman Jeremiah Fears.
Yeah, he's got to shoot the shot. If you get it blocked, you get it blocked.
Right. Projected first-round draft pick. He is now 1 for 7 from the field with several turnovers. And almost an and one on the other end for Tony Perkins. Oklahoma did a little bit of damage, but it's still a 16-point cushion for the Tigers here in Como.
Now's the time for a great deal on a new Honda. It's time to take an adventure with rugged capability and commanding style. From the Kelley Blue Book Best Value brand. Right now, you can get a $369 per month lease on a 2025 CR-V two-wheel drive sport hybrid.
It's good and easy, too.
Well, when your brothers, it's not just a pregame handshake, it's a pregame hug. That's Armin Gates and Dennis Gates. Armin Gates, an assistant coach for Oklahoma. Dennis Gates, the head coach, of course, of Mizzou. This is not the first time they've gone head-to-head. When Armin was an assistant coach at Kent State and Dennis was an assistant coach at Northern Illinois, it was Armin that got the best of Dennis. He was 2-0 as an assistant coach when Kent State really had it rocking in the MAC. And now the third all-time meeting. Right now, Dennis has the upper hand.
And somewhere in the arena, there's a good contingency of the Gates family. And they are representing both sides tonight.
I love that. You can't show favoritism. So when you wear the T-shirts and you're related to both Armin Gates and Dennis Gates, you got to have both logos on the sleeves. And there you see that. That's fantastic. Not just on the sleeves, but on the front. You got OU and Missouri. That's fantastic. Somebody put, well, you got a sweatshirt, you got the long sleeve T-shirt. I mean, I want to get the name and number of their swag person. They put that together pretty good.
Tony
Perkins on the free throw.
Tony Perkins, Mike, one of those guys, we're going to say this a lot as we close out 2024-2025. His 148th game. We're going to see a lot of players in this COVID redo era play over 150 games.
Yeah, it's become so commonplace. And if the Final Fours and the NCAA tournaments are any evidence, older very often is better. The days of just winning with a bunch of freshman phenoms has given way to teams that have much more experience. Just ask Connecticut. 3 seconds on the shot clock. You got to see it. You got to fire it. Elvis does, and it misses everything.
Great defensive patience by Missouri in that possession. Stayed true to their foundation, didn't over-rotate. Great job by the home team.
Kobe Elvis is a guy who started the first 16 games, and then they made the decision to start Bryson Goodine. Coach Moser did, because Goodine was shooting like just because he's not starting doesn't mean he's not still a huge part of this team. But you know how it is, Mark. Sometimes that can be a little bit of a tough thing psychologically for a player.
Well, I love this line because he said he told Kobe Elvis, your role hasn't changed,
Right.
just your shift has changed.
Right. And very often, as is the case with a Caleb Grill, just because you don't start doesn't mean you don't finish. And very often a guy off the bench actually plays more minutes than the starters. In fact, there's been some terrific players off the bench this year in the SEC. That's what we call a tease of the M&M segment coming up. Josh Gray, this has always been his kryptonite, the free throw line, where he shoots 50%.
But Mike, I like the role he plays for this team. He's had double figures in rebounds 5 different games. Remember, he had the monster double-double in that great win at Mississippi State where he went for 10 and 11. And I think he's going to get a chance for the hat trick
This is
at the free throw
This
line.
is where not so great form can help you buy another free throw attempt, because the entire Oklahoma team jumped in early anticipating a release, and instead it was like a double pump.
Looked like a Harlem Globetrotters routine.
Yes. And how about that? Gray says, see, third one's a charm. Josh Gray, who is now in his 3rd SEC school, LSU in South Carolina most recently.
So here's a few minutes with Elvis running the point. So Fears is playing off the ball now.
Oklahoma's gone over 3 minutes without scoring a point. Fears, there's the finish, and there's a chance at a three-point play the hard way.
I just love the way Fears attacks here. But I think I want to watch his eyes. Watch coming at you. See if his eyes don't stay on the prize. See the way he's going to look that in all the way? So many times young players get banged around the basket and you tend to duck your head, which makes your eyes go down. That's a nice job by the freshman Phenom.
Fears 6 points now on 2 of 8 from the field. And 2 of 2 from the free throw line. Perkins.
I was just about to say, Kobe Elvis is in a wrestling match trying to keep up with Caleb Grill.
Caleb Grill, the mark of a great shooter very often can be what you do without the ball. And Caleb Grill knows how to get open, perpetual motion by a young man that always seems to have no wasted motion on the floor.
And because he does all that, it opens up things for other players, even if he never touches the ball.
Exactly.
What did Dennis Gates tell us today about Caleb Grill? He's become a better player, a more complete player.
Yeah, he talked about the fact that he does so much more than just shoot the basketball. He's a guy that really just helps his team in a number of different ways. The biggest bucket he had, he went off in that game in Gainesville in the upset of Florida. Nice play, a one-on-one for Tony Perkins. A backdoor cut layup late in that game. Godwin, this is a three-point play exhibition for both teams.
There's no question Oklahoma doing a much better job executing their offense. It's that early slip action. Instead of allowing the double team, Godwin with the quick slip, the easy finish, left-handed off the window.
The former Wofford Terrier completes the three-point play.
Oklahoma, Mike, just kind of hanging around.
This game has gotten real physical. Just the battle between Perkins and Forsythe to get the basketball on the inbounds. Now Perkins says, I'm going to take it right at you.
Got to keep the ball in front of you defensively. Forsythe played catch-up that whole possession.
10 points now for Perkins, and then Perkins on a steal. Add numbers. Mitchell, mismatch. And a good help weak side by Fears. And it will be Oklahoma ball. Mitchell on the foul. You know, you get a 3 here, you cut it to 14,
right?
Just keep chipping away. Oklahoma's not going to lay down. They play extremely hard. They have all year. And again, they come into this right now. Joe Lenardi has them in the field. Despite the fact that they're 3-7 in league play, they've got those quality non-conference wins. But we showed you that stretch of games, and like everybody else in the SEC, you have so many difficult games left on the slate. That one drops. Godwin heating up. Down to 15. We reach the 13-minute mark of this ball game.
Like you talked about the OU wins. Those wins are not going anywhere. The win over Michigan, the winning the battle for Atlantis, as we see Gray get fouled inside. Take another look at this, Mike, though, because Oklahoma, Fears does a much better job off this screen. Watch the air pass. Remember the last possession? He did a bounce pass that allowed defenders to get involved, and that led to the turnover. The air pass gets there sooner, and as a consequence, Godwin's able to produce.
You and I have worked together long enough, I know. One thing you hate is a bounce pass into the post.
Yeah, it's just big guys don't like them. It's down around their feet, their knees, and it gives defenders, there's a certain time for a pocket pass. I'm a big believer in that. But most of the time, against pressure, the bounce pass is the slower pass and gives quick defenders the opportunity to be disruptive.
Only thing you hate more, a bad IPA. Thankfully, you have not experienced that in a while.
Not in 25.
Yes. I hate to see you get testy with the staff of any of the fine establishments here in Columbia, Missouri. Gray with that weird hitch in his free throws, and we have another lane violation. So it's working to his advantage.
You do remember the Harlem Globetrotter with the string, you know?
Absolutely. From Brooklyn, New York, Josh Gray. Hey, that's nothing but net. So the lane violation and the weird hitch works to the advantage of Josh Gray. And a little fade and fire.
I don't mind that shot. It came out of the flow of the offense.
Brill passed up the three. Fears was there to meet him. Perkins goes to work. Mizzou showing plenty of patience on this possession. Late shot clock down to 7. Down to 5, and he hits it. Good possession for Mizzou. You believe. Under 12, timeout on the way on the next whistle. Fears closed by Gray on the hedge out, and then gets another and one opportunity, and that'll bring us to a timeout. When we come back, the M&M, a chance to take a look at some bench ballers in the SEC.
Blind spot that's never out of sight. How it should be. The Hyundai Tucson.
Get 1.99% APR or up to $12.50 bonus cash on the Hyundai Tucson. Visit your local Hyundai dealer today.
Now's the time for a great deal on a new Honda. It's time to take an adventure with rugged capability and commanding style. From the Kelley Blue Book Best Value brand. Right now, you can get a $369 per month lease on a 2025 CR-V two-wheel drive sport hybrid.
Am I the only one who doesn't get it?
Hey, get a grip. You got this.
Okay, so what? You have the answers?
Do you just want the answers? Or do you want to learn? Smart choice. Get a grip on college with Chegg.
What's up? You seem kind of sluggish today.
Things aren't really moving.
You could use some Metamucil.
Metamucil psyllium fiber helps keep your digestive system moving so you can feel lighter and more energetic. Metamucil keeps you moving. And try the 2-week challenge at metamucil.com.
Missouri out big here in Como. He is the Professor Mark Wise, Mike Morgan. Together we compile the M&M list, which today, Mark, features M&M Beach Ballers, top guys off the bench in the SEC. We've got a number of exceptional players, including Aiden Holloway for Alabama, instant offense off the bench, and terrific efficiency numbers.
Tahad Pettiford is the only freshman on this group. 11.5 points per game. He gives Bruce Pearl a little offensive punch.
How about Thomas Houck? You know, they lose Alex Condon in Starkville. Thomas Houck, all he does is flirt with a triple-double. Every game, he's one of the most imposing figures down low.
Kobe Brea for Kentucky, almost 11 points a game, but more importantly, 45% from bonus land.
And then, of course, Caleb Grill. He could start for just about anybody. He comes off the bench for Missouri, and when he does, it's instant offense, the #1 3-point shooter in the Southeastern Conference. And as we mentioned earlier with Grill, his overall game has really expanded.
He's become a more complete player, and if we had room for a sixth guy, we would have put Jordan Gainey on that list, another double-figure guy who comes off the bench for Rick Barr.
Yeah, there's so many great players off the bench, and we talked about earlier, it's not just who starts, but who finishes games. A number of the players we just talked about are guys that when the game is on the line are instrumental in their team's success. Right now, tonight, the main man instrumental for Missouri's success is a starter, and that, of course, is Mitchell. Mitchell working on a career-high 19 points for Mark Mitchell, the junior, to go along with 6 rebounds.
I think this is the segment that will determine the outcome of the game, and what I mean by that is if Oklahoma is going to be around at the end, they have to win this segment.
Certainly would concur with that. Every time they put a dent into things, Missouri's got an answer, including one here. Big to big. Mitchell to Gray for the layup.
How about the fact that Mark Mitchell is a willing passer?
If this were baseball, Mitchell would be working on a no-hitter up to this point. He has been phenomenal. Three ball for the Sooners.
Well, this is Missouri basketball, Dennis Gates style, if you will, getting the ball out in transition. It's the easy shovel pass by Grill that leads to the wide open look for Mitchell. That's just too easy.
3-point play capped off by Mitchell's free throw. He's now 10 of 14 from the free throw line. And we talked about the importance of the free throw line. Missouri nearly unbeatable when they outshoot their opponents at the line. Well, Mitchell himself has outshot Oklahoma at the free throw line.
Missouri averages 25 plus free throw attempts per game. They've already taken 27. Only Alabama shoots more. And that'll be one of the keys in that game on Saturday. Can Auburn keep Alabama off the free throw line?
That's going to be a special matchup. So many years Auburn and Alabama have been playing in college basketball, but nothing like Saturday. #1 versus #2. And a bold and fearless prediction, Mark Wise.
I'm going to give you a couple of things to look at.
I will take that as a bailout, but nevertheless, I want to hear it.
Take a look at this. Normally, if we talk about Auburn #1 and Alabama #2, we would talk about the line of scrimmage and who can put pressure on the quarterback. I think there's two things at play. The three-point differential and the free throw attempt differential. Auburn doesn't have to win both of them, but they cannot lose both of them.
I'll go with that. Alabama, at last check, and of course this can vary day by day in the sport, but the #1 scoring team, at least one of them in college basketball. And Auburn can certainly score in droves as well. It's just so amazing the job that both those coaches have done. We were there when Nate Oates got the job in Tuscaloosa.
Right.
And when Bruce Pearl got the job. And all of a sudden, now we're talking about two teams, two programs that have been in a Final Four recently, that are winning SEC championships recently.
Now everybody in the SEC, Mike, is chasing Auburn and Alabama.
I mean, nobody would have ever have thought that. You got to go back to the days of maybe Wimp and Sonny, when Auburn and Alabama were at the top of the SEC world, and in this case, at the top of the college basketball world. Largest lead right now for Missouri. And the Tigers can smell their 7th conference win of the year.
Watch out.
Grill heating up. Caleb Grill from downtown, where he leads the SEC at 48%, and he literally shoots the lights out here in Como.
Caleb Grill, for the 9th time this year, has made 3 or more threes in a game. He is an elite catch and shoot guy. Tigers rolling.
Touches of black. They say a lot without having to say much. They stand for elegance, refinement, and prestige. Even a little can go a long way. And though they're darker than the darkest night, they make you see everything in a new light. The Kia X-Line Nightfall Collection.
Kia, movement that inspires.
In 7 years, you can meet, get married, have kids, get a dog, and still be covered in your Honda certified vehicle. Get a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty. Plus, factory-trained technicians and Honda genuine parts. Every certified pre-owned Honda goes through a rigorous 182-point inspection and is reconditioned like new. You can also get your first 2 oil changes on us and roadside assistance. Search your local Honda dealer today.
How are you feeling about the exam?
All good. If I don't sleep, I mean.
If it helps, I'm using Chegg. Total game changer.
Maybe I should try.
Yeah, he definitely needs Chegg.
How are you feeling about the exam?
All good. If I don't sleep, I mean.
If it helps, I'm using Chegg. Total game changer.
Maybe I should try.
Yeah, he definitely needs Chegg.
Caleb Grill tonight in double figures for the 12th time this season. But he's become a much more complete player. He used to be one of just those guys, a catch and shoot. But he's become even more elite at that, 3rd best three-point shooter in the country by percentage. And when you take a look at some of the numbers that he has made in terms of made threes, look at this list. Well, whether you're talking about non-conference competition, whether you're talking about conference competition, whether you're talking about at home or on the road, this dude is in a league of his own right now in terms of making threes.
You know what else that stands out about that graphic that everybody at home just saw? Missouri won all those games.
Yes.
When Missouri wins, Grill averages 15.5 points. He's got 15 tonight. And when Caleb Grill gets to that mark, 15 points, Missouri is 7-0, undefeated on the year. So Caleb Grill not just hitting 3 points, 3-pointers in garbage time. He's a guy that hits them with the game on the line, and more often than not, when he hits them at a high rate, they win the game.
Can I give you a couple of more numbers about
I would love
Caleb
more
Grill?
nuggets from you.
4 rebounds and 3 assists.
How about that? That's what we call a complete player.
Which speaks to the point we were trying to make about he's playing the best basketball of his career.
You know, Coach Gates talks about it. Caleb talked to us about it earlier this season, how someday he wants to coach. His father is a coach currently in Wichita, Kansas. I got news for Caleb. He might have to put that on hold a little bit, because with that good looking of a shot, he's going to be able to play pro ball somewhere. Just absolute bully ball down low by Missouri. This time it's Marcus Allen.
Yeah, one of the good-looking freshmen for Dennis Gates' club. He just kind of powers his way in. 6'7", 220 pounds from Miami. He gets to the free throw line a lot per minute played. It's easy to see why.
And again, Missouri had a highly rated freshman class. They just haven't been able to see the floor a whole lot because so many guys, so many veterans and guys in the portal have been performing so well. It's not a knock on the freshman class. And they might turn out to be the stars of the latter part of this year, certainly next year. But for now, they've got to wait their turn. Missouri relentless, up big, full court pressure, keeps the heat on Oklahoma. Down by 28. Elvis. Seven on the shot clock for Fears. Fears off of 1 foot. I don't know if that's how he drew it up, but that's how it went up. Not sure what that was from Robinson. Fears goes to work on Grill. Up top, Goodine. To the hands of Miles, and then inside it's Miles.
He doesn't mind challenging the bigs. Miles averages more than 10 points a game. 6'2". Plays much bigger than that.
Out of Montgomery, Alabama. Another three-point opportunity for Mizzou. 70-44. Missouri in control in Como.
The Zaxby's Chicken Philly is back. Who's got the sauce? Zaxby's.
Cheeseburger, small floats, and French toast sticks for only $1.99 each. And yes, funner is a word because proper grammar is boringer. Also a word. The Sonic Fun 99 menu. Live free, eat Sonic.
No alarms tell me when to snack. Nice try, Kevin. So my advice? Stop looking for advice. And if you want to grab a snack, grab a snack. Who's hungry?
We need a symbol that can unite us.
Wait for it. Save some for us, Cap.
Let's go. Oh.
Captain America, caught in a trap.
You want me? Come and get me!
Captain America, Brave New World. Rated PG-13.
Guys, stop dressing like this. Dress like this. This is the perfect polo for any occasion, and the comfort and stretch are unmatched. The signature firm semi-spread collar adds a touch of sophistication and class, but still gives you that everyday comfort with the relaxed fit. Easily elevate the look by throwing on one of Collars & Co.'s sweaters, and because of the design of the polo, it'll look as if you're wearing a dress shirt underneath. Head over to Collars & Co. now to elevate your style and comfort. Use code TV for 20% off site-wide at collarsandco.com.
Time to take a look at today's Experts at Work, brought to you by Principal.
Well, if you want to be an expert defensively, play for Missouri. The activity, the quick hands, the being in the right place at the right time, utilizing their length, their quickness, their commitment to playing on the defensive end, the deflections that they talked about today in the shoot-around have all come into play. Of Oklahoma's 16 turnovers in the game, there have been 11 Missouri steals.
Missouri, the top steals team in the SEC with just under 9.5. And they've had that working today. And when they haven't had steals, they've forced turnovers in other ways. Sometimes it's the aggregate total, the diminishing returns over time. Missouri just keeps throwing jabs and body punches at you. And eventually, they become frustrating. I don't think anybody enjoys playing against Missouri's defense, and it's been that way since Coach Gates got here.
And you can play that way when you have great depth.
Right.
And Missouri has great depth.
And you know what else they have? Buy-in.
Yes.
Right? I mean, you got to have players that are committed to playing on that end of the floor with that type of intensity.
It's the diamond and one that they've utilized several times today. 1-2, 1-1.
Godwin gets it down low. Size advantage over Bates, and he'll go back to the free throw line.
You know, if you had told Oklahoma's coaching staff Tamar Bates would have 2 points in the game,
yeah,
you'd like your chances, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I mean, he averages 14, and last year, if Tamar Bates didn't have a big night, Missouri would not only lose, they wouldn't be competitive. This year, Tamar Bates is a nice piece in the puzzle, but they don't have to rely on him.
He's the challenger in the group. He doesn't mind challenging his teammates.
Yeah.
He holds himself to a higher standard, and as a consequence, holds his teammates to a higher standard.
And again, he might be the most valuable player based on what he did in the offseason by convincing Mark Mitchell. You're going to be called by a lot of coaches and a lot of schools out there, but Mizzou is for you. Under 7.5 minutes to go. Nickel and dimer picked up by Peyton Marshall, the cumbersome freshman. 7 feet. He's down to 300 pounds out of Atlanta, Georgia. Miles 4 of 5 from the stripe tonight. The softball season rolls on with the Shriners Children's Clearwater Invitational. The SEC Network is home for these 4 games, starting with Wichita State and Kentucky. That'll be tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern Time right here on the SEC Network. Just another sport that the SEC has been dominant in. Of course, nobody's been more dominant than the program from Norman, Oklahoma. That has become almost like
yes.
Oklahoma Invitational of late.
What did you call him? One of the newbies.
One of the newbies. A heck of an addition in that sport. Crowd wants it to go to the freshman. Marshall got it, but missed it. Fears, no. More, yes. And then a steal. And an easy deuce off the turnover for Miles, and Coach Gates is not having any of that.
No, he is not. You could see him. He couldn't get guys to the check-in fast enough after that lazy pass. It's one of the few mistakes that Missouri has made in this game, and it's from Bates of all people. Duke Miles just quick to the spot.
Now Missouri in good shape to pick up its 7th win of the year. They will battle Georgia on Saturday at 3:30 at Stegman, Georgia. Georgia Bulldogs, by the way, have played more ranked teams than any college basketball team in America. It'll be a huge game for them for sure. Texas A&M hosting Arkansas. Don't look now, but Joe Lenardi has Arkansas as the first team out of the field. You mentioned Auburn, Alabama. Obviously, that's a headliner.
That State Ole Miss game is a huge game.
Yeah. Second time they have met this year on the hardwood. How about Kentucky? I mean, Kentucky's had a roller coaster, right? They started off, they were the toast of the town, then they hit a little bit of a skid. They're getting healthier now.
Yeah.
And that offense is still a lot of fun to watch.
They were plus 27 last night in three-point differential. As a matter of fact, there were some big numbers in terms of three-point differential last night. Auburn was plus 18. Florida was plus 21.
How about that?
And oh yeah, by the way, Alabama made 17 threes.
Missouri's only hit 4 threes in this game. Of course, most of those, in fact, 3 of them came from Caleb Grill. But that's the thing about Mizzou. They don't have to hit threes to beat you. They get so many free throws, and they have a force inside like this guy, Mark Mitchell.
Now he needs to make both of these to set a new career high. And of course, I ruined that.
I mean, why don't you just roll a black cat in front of him, Mark? My goodness.
Oh, me.
1 out of 2.
He's now tied his career high.
You think he knows one more point to get a career high on its own?
The Mizzou defense has just not given Oklahoma anything easy.
Especially for this guy, Fears. He's had a target on his back tonight. Nothing easy for the freshman. Moore leads the break for Oklahoma, but there's not much.
Miles, 44% from deep on the year.
Well, neither one of these teams have given up an ounce of effort. The problem for Oklahoma, that includes Missouri, who still leads it by 21. Mark, as we look ahead, we know Missouri is going to continue to be a matchup problem for a lot of teams in this league. But where does Oklahoma go from here? We talked about this brutal stretch of games.
Right.
5 straight ranked opponents, first time since the early 90s. But how important are the next couple of games for the Sooners, who will likely leave the building tonight with a 3-game losing streak?
Yeah, they go back home to play LSU, but 3 of their next 4 are at home in terms of LSU, Mississippi State, and Kentucky. So as long as Oklahoma can win some of their home games, again, I've said this all season long, I think 8 gets you in the NCAA tournament in terms of league wins. Oklahoma is one of those teams that is only at 3. Their overall resume is better than most because of those quad 1 wins that they picked up in the battle for Atlantis.
Ball was in the cylinder, no basket for Oklahoma. Something I think, and this could certainly apply to Oklahoma as well as other teams, 8 gets you in. I don't think there's any question about that. 7 is probably on the bubble, and that is where that opening round in Nashville of the SEC tournament is going to be huge. There's going to be a number of teams that their fate, Big Dance or NIT, is going to be determined on the opening night.
Some true play-in, play-out games.
Yes, which is what, look,
that's what you want in a conference tournament.
In the day and age of conference tournaments where the top teams in a league like the SEC have already punched their ticket, that provides a little drama, and I think we'll have plenty of it. Because there's going to be some good teams that don't get to 8 wins in the regular season, but might be at 6 or 7 that'll need a run in Nashville to get over the hump. How about Missouri's bench tonight? 31 points.
That's kind of par for the course for them, isn't it?
That's the depth you alluded to earlier. Under 4 to go. Perkins tied up. Perkins gets fouled. He will be at the free throw line when we come back. Missouri looking good.
Now's the time for a great deal on a new Honda. It's time to take an adventure with rugged capability and commanding style. From the Kelley Blue Book Best Value brand. Right now, you can get a $459 per month lease on a 2025 Pilot all-wheel drive EXL.
How are you feeling about the exam?
All good. If I don't sleep, I mean.
If it helps, I'm using Chegg. Total game changer.
Yeah, I've tried AI.
It's better than that. Step-by-step guidance, real human experts, and practice questions. So I know I've got it.
Maybe I should try.
Yeah, he definitely needs Chegg. Get a grip on college with Chegg.
Hey, let's check out the good hands play brought to you by Allstate, Mark.
Caleb Grill, the quarterback. Mark Mitchell on the fly pattern connects. And Mitchell did what he has done the entire game, dominate block to block. Missouri with a dominating performance. thanks to Mark Mitchell.
I'm going to give you a stat nerd question on that play. Are you ready? That play, Mitchell, of course, as he's done all night against particularly smaller defenders, just plays bully ball and wins it 10 times out of 10. The pass by Grill.
Yeah.
Beautiful pass, but Mitchell took not one but 2 dribbles. So I don't think he gets an assist there.
You know where I stand on that. If the pass leads to the basket, I'm going to allow 1 dribble.
He took 2.
Then I'm not going to allow it.
Okay.
I have to. Now you're making me stand by my own standards.
I thought maybe you were going to bend the rules there.
Did he really take 2?
He took 2 dribbles. I don't know if he needed 2. But
well, that's what I meant. He didn't need to.
Yes. You know, you and I are in agreement, and I have submitted my request to the NCAA for a couple of decades now on this. If you throw a pass to a guy who's fouled and he hits the free throws, that should be an assist.
Could not agree more.
So I'll accept the Grill doesn't get one on a 2-dribble dunk for Mitchell. But if somebody passes you the ball and you hit the free throws, that should be an assist. We'll see if we can get that changed. It's only been the rule for about 100 years. But we've got that kind of clout and sway over here. All the clout has been in the mighty hands of Mizzou tonight. They dominated this game from start to finish. Oklahoma really never had much of a chance.
The shot clock reset, so the officials are going to talk about this. Was there a change of possession? I didn't think there was. I didn't think Missouri ever had control, but maybe they did. I'd have to go back and look at this again.
The 213th meeting will be prolonged by a little clock delay here.
Watch Perkins deflects this ball, but I don't think he ever has it.
No,
he does not gather it. So now they have
shot clock is under review.
Yes,
yeah,
that's what I was
under
about
review,
to say. The shot clock is the issue.
Yeah, I don't think that should reset. 213th meeting between these two teams. This goes back to the early 1900s in the Missouri Valley. Then it was a Big 6 battle, Mark.
Yeah.
Then a Big 7 battle. Then a Big 8. Then the Big 12 for 20-something years before Missouri departed for the SEC. And, of course, now Oklahoma joins. Oklahoma came in leading this all-time series 115-97.
You do know I have been around the game for a long time.
Yes.
But you mentioned some conferences I did not know existed. I'm not up on the Big 6 right now.
You weren't a big fan of the Big 6?
I know. I got nothing.
I'm just old enough to remember the Big 8. That's what I remember, and I remember what a big deal it was when the Big 8 and the Southwest Conference kind of joined forces for the Big 12. But now, this is an SEC matchup and will forever be between Oklahoma and Missouri. Final 3 minutes and change. Miles has been active in this second half. Leads the way with 18 for Oklahoma.
Moore hasn't gotten very many looks in this game.
In a pedestrian game for him, 10.7 rebounds for the team's leading scorer. Foul from behind on Jalen Moore. Missouri's going to hit 80 points tonight. They're 14-1 when they do so. They're 15-2 when holding opponents under 80 points, and that seems to be a safe bet as well.
Jalen Moore's night is done as he's been taken out.
Kind of funny sometimes how a game winds up. If you would have told us Missouri would be up by 25 at this stage, we would have said, well, surely Missouri dominated Oklahoma on the glass Oklahoma last in the SEC in rebounding. That's actually fairly even. I thought it was interesting that Coach Moser told us about the rebounding this year and the problems that they have had. He said, you know, when I was a head coach of Loyola Chicago during that Final Four run, there were times we didn't have anybody on the floor above 6'7", and we still held our own on the glass. This year, it's been a huge challenge, and even the glass being even tonight, Mark.
Yeah.
The size differential down low, though, has clearly hurt Oklahoma and favored Mizzou.
Yeah. When you talk about who's going to guard Mark Mitchell, and it's such a bad matchup, not only for Oklahoma, but anybody Missouri plays. And by the way, congratulations to Mark Mitchell, who did set his career high, and his new career high matches his jersey number.
How about that? That's what we call symmetry. I don't think he'll be back out there, so he'll finish with 25.
And because Moore found out he hasn't sat down, and student section have finally given up. Moore 1, student section 0.
And the student section wins the Die Hard Awards because they have stayed for what looks like the final minutes of this game. Many of the crowd taking an early exit, beat the traffic home. There's another terrific crowd tonight here at the Mizzou Arena. Another near sellout.
Glenn Taylor is going to go to the free throw line. Mike, while I have a moment, the NCAA selection committee has a sheet that anybody could access, and one of the things on that sheet is conference strength of schedule. And what they do is they compare and rank everybody's conference schedule across the country, because no two conference schedules are created equal anymore.
Right.
In that ranking system, conference strength of schedule, the SEC has the top 13 conference strengths of schedule. You have to go to UCF at 14 before you get a non-SEC team. Just another example of what a historic season this has been for the league.
I don't know for the common fan, the more fringe fan, if those early results in November, December really resonated to understand how that was going to put the SEC in the driver's seat in almost every metric the rest of the way. Because as we know, 18 conference games, you're beating up the only true conference versus other conference games that we have. We lose that from January on.
Tell me another conference where there is no bad loss.
Yeah, it doesn't
No matter
exist.
who you lose to, there's no bad loss. That doesn't exist. Take a look at the latest by Joey Brackets.
You want to put it in perspective? You know who's not pictured there? South Carolina. They have a win against Clemson, who, by the way, just beat Duke. Clemson's one of the best teams in the ACC, and they lost to the last place Gamecocks. So, in case you, who, by the way, nearly pulled off another upset, they keep coming close. They lost to Ole Miss at home preceding our game tonight. But LSU has some quality non-conference with everybody in this league from top to bottom showed up and showed out in November and December to help pave the way for what is going to be, I don't think there's any debate, it's going to be a new NCAA record for bids. The record was, or is, the Big East with 11.
Right.
I can't see any scenario where this league gets less than 12.
I think Lenardi made this point in an interview the other day. Normally, this time of the year, you have some teams drop off the bubble completely because of league play. And the SEC has been immune to that.
Correct. Chip away, but Missouri continually had an answer tonight. And after a heartbreaking loss, should be the final possession of the game. Forsythe misses the three. And some final thoughts.
The Tigers end up shooting 54%. They go to the free throw line 35 times. But it was the dominating performance by Mark Mitchell, which set the tone early and led to this big win at home.
Mitchell finishes with 25 points, 7 rebounds, and the guys ready to talk about it back in studio. It is Peter Burns and the Pats. Gentlemen, take it away.